Welcome back to the Crypto channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now it is happening. Bitcoin is continuing the bullish breakout towards my exact price target on the price chart as my current Bitcoin trade is exploding further into profits. But in just a moment, I'll be explaining exactly how I'm planning to make easy money in the crypto market right now as we're continuing to see more of this liquidity wiped out exactly as expected, causing a small short squeeze in the short term. And of course, not only is my Bitcoin trade moving further into profits, my Solana trade is also exploding further into profits here, as Solana has also been perfectly breaking out towards my exact bullish price target on the price chart. But on top of that, XRP is getting extremely close to confirming the next breakout here and the next price target and a new opportunity, not financial advice. So I'll be talking about all of that and more later in the video, so definitely watch to the end. First of all, just before taking a look at the Bitcoin and crypto charts today, taking a quick look at the US stock market today. This is, of course, the pre-market as of recording this video, just before the stock market's about to open. And we're continuing to see last week's bounce continue now into the new week, which obviously is a bullish signal, not just for stocks, but also for the crypto market, because not always, but a lot of the time, crypto and stocks are highly correlated. So usually if we see some sort of bounce like this, we see some sort of bounce for crypto and vice versa. If we see a major crash in the stock market, like for example, back around March, for example, this year, during those sort of times, we tend to see some bearish price action for the crypto market. And so at least so far, this is good news, as so far the SpaceX IPO is performing relatively well. We haven't really seen a massive dump, at least on the launch day. Now, of course, my analysis that I've talked about just a couple of days ago has been saying that we're most likely going to see some sort of cool off of the SpaceX IPO in the coming weeks or months, not necessarily right now, but at least for now, in the shorter term, of course, we are seeing decent performance in the shorter term for the US stock market, especially the large cap tech stocks and of course the SpaceX IPO performing well, which means right now at least everyone's sort of making money, everyone's happy, and that's also helping the crypto market in the shorter term. And so keep that in mind moving forward, keep that in mind for the crypto market. And with that being said, taking a look at the Bitcoin charts today on the weekly time frame, the super trend indicator is still sitting in the red, but of course we have this massive bullish divergence, which by the way, just over the last one day, we've now actually started one confirmation signal already to start potentially confirming this massive bullish divergence on the weekly time frame. So ideally, I'd like to see a bit more confirmation in at least the next 1 or 2 weeks or so. So in the coming weeks, we might see more confirmation here to further confirm the bullish divergence. But right now, this is possibly already starting to confirm with one weekly candle close so far, confirming, of course, lower lows in the price in the candle closes on the weekly time frame and higher lows possibly starting to confirm now here in the weekly Bitcoin RSI. And by the way, the last time we saw a signal like this on the weekly time frame was all the way back here near the end of the 2022 bear market, one of the best buying opportunities in recent history. So as always, not financial advice, but keep that in mind moving forward as more of a longer term signal for what could perhaps play out in the coming months or over the next year or so. But with that being said, taking a look at the 3-day Bitcoin price chart, and right now in the somewhat midterm, talking about the next few weeks, of course, we're continuing the bounce and this oversold signal playing out here in the 3-day Bitcoin price chart, exactly as predicted here on the channel close to 2 weeks ago, over a week ago now. Obviously, I've been saying it's very likely that at least for now, this is the local low for the price of Bitcoin, not necessarily the bottom forever. It's possible that at some stage in the future, we could have one more dip down to actually break below this low. That's possible, but at least for the coming weeks, it's very likely we hold above this support at around 60,000 and continue a bit of a relief here, resetting from oversold here in the 3-day RSI. And so all of that is still playing out very nicely here. That prediction has not changed over the last 1 day here on the 3-day time frame. And if we're taking a look at the 12-hour Bitcoin price chart, obviously we've seen multiple perfect bounces from this major area of support here at around 60.5k to 61k. So especially around 60,000 to 61,000, we have a lot of support around there. And of course, over the last week or so, we've been playing out this massive oversold signal as well here in the 12-hour RSI. And as we could also also see on this price chart here, we have a perfect W pattern, also known as a double bottom pattern, already confirmed and already playing out, as I've already been talking about over the last couple of days here on the channel. And of course, we are now running into, as of recording this video, we are now running into this important area of resistance based on previous significant support in the price, flipping into new resistance, and that's in between around 65.5k to 66,000. So especially at give or take 66,000, that is a key level and the first major price target that I've been talking about over the last multiple days. Since all the way back down here, I've been talking about watch out for 66,000 as the first major target and point of resistance to watch out for. And right now, we're perfectly starting to run into that area. And so far, at least in the imminent short term, we are struggling a little bit in that area, which is to be expected because it is important resistance. But if the price of Bitcoin actually confirms a breakout here with candle closes confirming above 66,000 and actually holding above this area, in that situation, it's quite possible we could return up to above 70,000 at around 71,000, close to 71,000 as the next significant resistance to watch out for. But before 71k, we also have another shorter term price target, which I'll talk about right now, because taking a look at the 4-hour Bitcoin price chart, we have this W pattern, also known as a double bottom pattern. Once again, already confirmed, already broken out here. And in fact, over the last one day, we came down for a retest to test this previous resistance, and we officially flipped it into new support. We saw a perfect bounce from this exact level on the price chart at around 63.8k, as we could see, the level that I've been talking about basically every day for almost a week now. And so in case you missed my last few videos here on the channel, and let's just say if you missed the initial entry at this initial breakout here above around 63.8k, give or take, in that situation, the market gave you a second opportunity, another entry signal right here to actually perhaps enter or add it to a long position at this retest, because we did not confirm the breakback below that area. This just further confirmed the breakout and gave basically you another opportunity in case you missed the initial opportunity for this breakout trade. As always, not financial advice, just talking about what I usually end up doing with my own money, talking about general trading strategies that I tend to follow. And of course, the technical price target for this breakout here has not changed over the last few days. As I've already been saying since back below this resistance, I said once we confirm this breakout above this level, expect the price to continue towards this bullish price target, which is still sitting at around 67.7k. And right now, we're pretty much exactly halfway between the point of the breakout and the price target, as we can see. But of course, right now in the immediate short term, we are now running into this exact area of resistance that I've also been talking about over the last few days here on the channel, which is an area that I've been warning about where the price could possibly struggle or possibly even reject from, at least in the short term here. And so just before taking a look at my exact trading strategy, how I'm making easy money in the market right now, taking a quick look at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map over the last one day, we perfectly played out a small short squeeze exactly as predicted in my last two videos now on the channel. Obviously, we had major liquidity building just above the price of Bitcoin, especially around 64.8k to 65,000 approximately. And obviously down here at around 64,500 over the last half a week, I've been talking about these areas as a very likely outcome for the price of Bitcoin going to push a little higher to take out this liquidity. As always, no guarantees, but usually the price of Bitcoin tends to wipe out these areas of liquidity, especially if it's relatively close to the current price and especially if it's already in the trends that we're currently moving in. And so that was just another signal on top of everything else pointing towards basically this breakout happening, which is perfectly playing out right now. And on top of that, liquidity building above the price of Bitcoin over the last couple of days, helping to push the price higher in the short term. On top of that signal, as I've also been saying over the last 1 to 2 days now, we've been having negative funding rates. And even right now, as of recording this video, even after the latest pump, a lot of the crypto funding rates for Bitcoin and other altcoins are still negative. In fact, a lot of these rates have moved even further negative over the last one day, despite this small little squeeze happening over the last one day. And so what this tells us is that there's still basically fuel in the tank. There's still more room to go here with this breakout towards the upside. Now, remember, the one potential risk is, of course, the fact that we are running into the resistance. So it's possible we could struggle a little bit around this area. But once, or if we eventually break out above around 66,000, then in that situation, it's likely that the breakout will simply just continue towards this price target due to the fact that funding rates are still negative, which is financially incentivizing prices to go higher. Because when funding rates are negative, short positions are paying a premium on their positions. They're paying extra fees, and the long positions are earning earning those fees. So this financially incentivizes traders to close shorts and open longs, which adds buying pressure, pushing prices higher, putting more pressure on short positions to close. And so once again, this is exactly what I've already been talking about over the last couple of days, already perfectly playing out here. But because the funding rates are still negative and moving further negative, this is a signal telling us that it's very likely, as always, no guarantees, but very likely that if we can just break out past 66,000, this will likely continue at least towards this price target at around 67.7K, possibly even higher, closer towards 70,000. If we could just break out past this 66K level first, that is the next major obstacle that we need to break out above. And so if we put all of this information together into a trading strategy to make easy money in the market right now, well, right now I'm still in my exact Bitcoin long position here, as you can see, but over the last one day here on my week's account, I have just taken basically some profits out of the trade. You can see, first of all, in my last one to two videos here on the channel, I talked about how this trade was around a $100,000 Bitcoin long position. And you can see over the last one day, I've basically closed about half the trade, not because I think the price is going to crash, because if I thought the price was just going to crash, I'd close the entire trade and maybe open a short position. But I'm just slightly taking some profits, slightly reducing the size of the trade due to the fact that once again, we're running into this resistance, which means there is a possibility that we simply reject from this resistance. So in that case, I would have already taken some profits off the table. And as you can see here, my stop loss, as you can see right here, my stop loss is now basically at my entry price at break even. So the rest of the trade, as you can see here, will basically close at break even in the worst case scenario. So if the price just crashes from now, then the rest of the trade once again closes at break even, but I've already taken about $1,000 profit out of the Bitcoin trade over the last day. And so in other words, now in the worst case scenario, I still come away with about $1,000 in pretty much a single day of trading here. And of course, the rest of the trade is still currently in around over a 1,000 USD unrealized profit, around 1,200 USD unrealized profit. So altogether, the Bitcoin trade by itself, about $2,000 profit in under 2 days with this quick and simple breakout trading strategy that I've been sharing very transparently from start to finish over the last few days, even before we saw the breakout here. And of course, my next take profit has not changed over the last one day. It is still sitting at around 67.7K. So obviously I've not placed it right here as I record in the video on my week's account, but basically that is where I plan to take a little more profits off the table out of this Bitcoin long position here for this breakout trade, because obviously if we hit 67.7K in that situation, this breakout and this pattern has already played its part. It's already finished if we hit that 67.7K level. So by that stage, once again, I'd like to take a little more profits out of this trade, but not close the entire trade, still keep some of the trade still open in case the price just keeps pumping further towards the upside into perhaps the 70K range. Obviously, I'd like to ideally keep that upside potential open, but also limiting any potential risk by taking a little more profits closer towards this price target. And also, if the trade just moves further into profits here, I'll slowly start to move the stop loss further and further into profit, so that in the worst case scenario, it just secures more and more profits. And remember, while I'm holding these long positions right now, the Bitcoin long position, Solana long position, which by the way, I'll talk about the Solana trading strategy in just a moment when I'm talking about Solana. But while I'm holding these long positions, because the funding rates, as you can see right here, are currently negative, you could see right here, the fees I'm paying, the funding fees are actually positive, which means because I'm holding a long position and the funding fees are negative, the funding rate is negative, I should say, the funding fees, I'm actually earning the fees. The short positions are paying fees, long positions are earning fees, on top of the fact that obviously you're just making money on a long position if the price is pumping anyway. And so that is an update on my exact trading strategy for the price of Bitcoin, how I'm planning to make easy money in the market right now, sharing fully transparently with you here on YouTube, completely for free when everyone else out there charges for this information. Right now, obviously, that's just an update on my trading strategy. And so, of course, if you want to take these trades for yourself, get set up ready to go on one of these crypto exchanges, links below the video if you want to take advantage of massive bonuses and also discounts and things like that. For example, Weeks right now has a 1 million USDT prize pool up for grabs that's only available if you're using that link below the video to actually make your Weeks account. And in case you're wondering, Weeks is also a no KYC KYC exchange. Remember, first link below the video to the exchange I'm trading on right now. And of course, other exchanges are also linked below the video if you want to check out those exchanges to also claim extra benefits using those links. But with that being said, taking a quick look at the Bitcoin dominance chart on the 3-day time frame, and right now we're not really seeing a massive movement in the Bitcoin dominance, which means a lot of the major altcoins are performing somewhat similar to whatever Bitcoin does in the short term, which means, of course, if Bitcoin's breaking out like this, as it is doing right now, expect some sort of little bullish relief for a lot of the major altcoins. Some might do a little better, some might do a little worse, but overall, somewhat similar price action as Bitcoin is what is likely going to happen for a lot of the altcoins, is what the Bitcoin dominance is telling us right now. And if we're taking a look at Ethereum on the 3-day time frame, right now, we're continuing to play out the oversold signal exactly as expected here on the 3-day Ethereum RSI, also bouncing from my exact area of support on the price chart in between 1.5K to 1.6K. And of course, the next resistance, first of all, we have a small amount of resistance at just above 1.7K, around 1730 to 1750 based on this previous candle wick low, and more resistance at just above 1.8K, around 1820 as a major point of resistance to watch out for. And I'll keep this really quick for Ethereum because not much has changed over the last one day. My prediction is still the same because it's still playing out as expected. So ultimately, my prediction, as I've been saying for over a week now, is a bit more of a relief moving forward. Not necessarily a massive bullish move like this, but some sort of slight bullish relief, very, very likely, or at worst, maybe some sort of sideways consolidation, basically having a relief or a break from all of the bearish price action, at least over the next couple of weeks, maybe even longer, maybe a month or so, but at least in the next 1 or 2 weeks, it's very likely that this little relief will continue. And then of course, at certain points of resistance, we could struggle a little bit along the way as we're continuing a relief in the shorter term. Following similar price action to Bitcoin, of course, is ultimately my prediction for Ethereum. And if we're taking a quick look at the price of XRP on the weekly time frame, right now the price of XRP is continuing to bounce and hold this crucial level of support here at around $1.13. But even though that's the case, we've not yet fully confirmed the end or the reversal of this larger bearish trend. So keep that in mind. Not a lot has changed over the last one day on the weekly XRP price chart. But if we're taking a look at the shorter term moves, looking at the 4-hour XRP price chart, right now the price of XRP is running into this important level of resistance here. And we're kind of starting to see potentially some candle closes slightly above the resistance. But so far, we're kind of just stuck around this resistance, which means we are obviously still finding resistance, still struggling around this area. And that's at approximately $1.18, really at around $1.18 to now $1.19 as more of an area of resistance that we're currently struggling a little bit around. But of course, this is indeed a W pattern, also known as a double bottom pattern, the same sort of pattern that Bitcoin is currently already playing out here. But remember, XRP, along with some other major altcoins, are slightly lagging behind Bitcoin at the moment. So as Bitcoin has already broken out and is now running into this next point of resistance, XRP is still back at that potential breakout, not yet even confirming the breakout for this W pattern, which does mean that there's potentially an opportunity for people that missed perhaps the Bitcoin trade. Not financial advice, but remember, also keep in mind, at least for now and recently in the price action, XRP has been underperforming Bitcoin. So let's just say if you enter some sort of long position at this breakout, don't necessarily expect XRP to perform the same as this Bitcoin breakout, because obviously, once again, XRP is underperforming Bitcoin, so it might not perform as well as this Bitcoin breakout has been doing, and the breakout for Solana, which I'll talk about in just a moment. But with that being said, looking at the technical price target based on this pattern right here, if we confirm the breakout above around $1.18, ideally now above around $1.19. So if we actually break out and then actually hold that area as support and continue breaking out towards the upside, in that situation, the technical price target towards the upside for this pattern right here is sitting at just under $1.30, around $1.29 approximately. So from where we are right now, close to this breakout to that price target, that's over a 9%, around a 9 to 10% move towards the upside, which is obviously around a 90 to 100% profit with a 10x leverage long position in that example. As always, not financial advice. And also remember, even if we confirm this breakout, we'll likely find some points of resistance along the way. For example, around $1.24, we'll likely find some resistance around there. And taking a look at this price chart, especially closer towards $1.30, we have strong resistance closer towards this price target here as well. And as always, if we confirm the breakout and then break back below the point of the breakout, back below around $1.18, in that situation, that will just invalidate the breakout, invalidate the price target, and invalidate this pattern. But with that being said, taking a quick look at the price of Solana on the 3-day 3-day time frame. And right now, Solana is still perfectly playing out the massive bullish divergence as I've been talking about for the last almost 2 weeks now on the channel. Obviously, massive lower lows in the price in the candle closes and higher lows confirmed already playing out here in the 3-day Solana RSI. So like I've been saying every day for weeks now, it's likely this is going to play out in more of a bullish relief, or at worst, maybe just some choppy sideways price action, basically a relief or a break from all of the bearish price action, at least for a number of weeks. So that's still playing out here. This is kind of like a tailwind helping to push the price a little higher in the shorter term. And it's looking very likely that soon in the coming days or weeks, we could see another test of this previous significant support, which will likely now act as new resistance in between around $75 to $80. So watch out for that area as major resistance to watch out for. And if we're taking a look at the short-term moves, looking at the 4-hour Solana price chart, obviously over the last 2 days now, we've perfectly broken out here. And in fact, over the last 1 day, we came back for a retest of this previous line of resistance to perfectly flip it into support. We did not see any confirmed break back below this area, which by the way, this level was sitting at around 67.5, around $67.50. And we pretty much perfectly bounced from this exact line on the price chart, the perfect retest, which was once again, another potential entry opportunity, an entry signal to add or to open a new long position for this breakout trading opportunity. As always, not financial advice, just talking about potential trading strategies that I usually follow myself. And so because we held this level, we did not break back below this area. Obviously, this price target is still currently in play, the same price target I've been talking about since before we saw the first breakout here. And that price target is sitting at close to $74, basically just underneath $74, very close to $74. So from the point of the breakout to that price target, that was about a 9 to 10% move up. And obviously from the breakout to the current price, we're already up around 5 to 6%, which means from the current price to that price target, that's still about a 3 or 4% move still to go, even from the current price. But of course, opening a new long position at the current price is not really ideal considering the risk to rewards. We're now slightly closer to the price target than we are from the point of the breakout, which means, of course, if you're opening a new position here, you're potentially risking all of this while only really making this. If you're potentially closing or taking profit at the price target with a stop loss at the point of the breakout, once again, the risk to reward is not ideal from this situation, not financial advice, but basically the point to enter would be at the breakout once we confirm candle closes, or especially at some sort of retest. But remember, there's also potentially another opportunity for XRP, not financial advice, which I explained a moment ago once again. But for now, just giving you a quick update on my current Solana trading strategy, how I'm planning to make easy profits in the market right now. Of course, I'm still in a Solana long position here on my week's account, as you can see right here, Solana long position. But of course, in my last video, as I shared in my last video, this was around a $50,000 Solana long position, about half the size of the Bitcoin trade. And over the last 1 day, just simply following the strategy that I've been following for Bitcoin, I've taken roughly half the trader's profits. As you can see right here, it was sitting close to $2,000 in profits. I've taken about $1,000 USD in profits and still about 1,300 USD in unrealized profits as of recording this video. And of course, over the last 1 day, I've also moved my stop loss, as you can see right here, at around my entry price, so that the rest of the trade in the worst case scenario would just close at break even, no loss, while I've already secured about $1,000 in profits out of the Solana trade. So far between Solana and Bitcoin, secured over the last 1 day, close to 2,000 USD in profits already locked in, with another over 2,000 or over 2,500 USD in profits over the last 1 day in unrealized profits. And so simply just following this very simple, basic trading strategy for this breakout trading opportunity, which confirmed a couple of days ago now. Of course, I've made close to, in fact, over 4,000 USD in less than 2 days from a very basic trading strategy, which now I've effectively removed almost all the risk. Of course, the risk when you're taking these trades is right near the beginning of the trade, but now with risk management, by moving a stop loss at break even and taking a small amount of profits off the table, I've now basically reduced that risk to almost zero, essentially, at this stage in the trade. Because once again, if the price just crashes all the way back down, this stop loss would close the rest of the trade at break even while I've already secured a profit. So that's a quick update on my exact trading strategy. And of course, the technical price target at close to $74, just under 74, around 73.80, 73.90 is potentially where I'll take a bit more profits off the table out of the Solana long position. And of course, following my Bitcoin trading strategy, if the price moves just further and further into profits here, I'll slowly move the stop loss further and further into profits to secure more profits in that worst case scenario. And so that is a quick update on on my exact Solana trading strategy, how I'm planning to make easy profits in the market right now, sharing completely transparently, fully for free with you here on YouTube, how I'm doing it all from start to finish. And if we're taking a look at Chainlink on the 3-day time frame, right now Chainlink is also perfectly playing out a massive bullish divergence on the 3-day time frame. Obviously, lower lows in the price, higher lows in the RSI, which means we're most likely going to play out some sort of bullish relief, a break or a relief from all of the bearish price action here, perfectly playing out for over a week now. And this will likely continue at least over the next 1 or 2 weeks moving forward, possibly longer, but at least in the next 1 or 2 weeks, expect more of a relief here, either some choppy sideways price action or a bit more of a bullish relief. And right now we're testing well into this previous area of support, which should now be acting as resistance. And over the last few days has been acting as a bit of resistance. We have been struggling a lot in this area in between around $8 to $8.50, but especially if Bitcoin and other major altcoins simply continue this breakout. For example, if Bitcoin breaks out past 66,000 and continues towards this bullish price target, that will really help Chainlink and other major altcoins also push a little higher in the short term, which is now increasing the probability that we could possibly see some sort of breakout here back above 850. And in that situation right there, if we break out back above 850 and hold this area as support, we're breaking back into the previous range, which means we could possibly even continue all the way up towards around 950 as the next major resistance if we first break out past 850, which is the immediate resistance to watch out for. And so those are my exact predictions, expectations, key levels and signals to watch out for moving forward, and my exact trading strategies, sharing with you how I'm planning to make easy profits in the market right now. And once again, if you want to take these trades for yourself to profit basically at all times in the market using long positions or short positions, then check out the links below the video in the description and in the pinned comment to take advantage of massive bonuses and also fee discounts and things like that that are only available using those links to those crypto exchanges. And of course, if you want to take these trades for yourself to profit at all times in the market, then make sure to watch these videos popping up right here on your screen, because the video in the top left shows you how you can profit from bullish price action or bearish price action using long positions or short positions, and the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit from choppy sideways price action. But anyway, that is everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.